Hi friends, I wanted to get on a quick video here tonight and talk about something that I have been hearing a lot from ladies recently. I've been hearing it for a while, but it just seems to have been coming up a lot recently, which is feeling intimidated by going to the gym. And the weight room in specific, when we're talking about going to the gym, can be intimidating. And I certainly understand this. When I first started working out, I definitely felt like going to the gym and being around all the dudes and possibly being only one of the girls at the gym was a very intimidating thing. That was part of the reason why I spent a long time just being on like a spin bike and being on the treadmills and being like a cardio queen rather than actually getting in the weight room and doing things that a lot of people were encouraging me to do because it just felt really scary. So I think that some of the issues that we need to overcome with the gym feeling intimidating are we don't know what to do. A lot of times we're told that we should go to the gym, we're told that we should lift weights, that lifting weights is like a great, awesome thing, but we actually have no idea how to do that or what we're supposed to be doing. So that's certainly like a barrier to entry as far as like, cool, so like everybody says I should go to the gym. This personal trainer friend of mine says that like lifting weights is so awesome, but like what the heck am I even supposed to start doing? We have this fear that we're going to go to the gym and we're not really going to know what to do and everybody else is going to judge us. That was certainly my fear for a really long time, was going in there and being like, okay, so like I have a printout of these exercises that I'm supposed to do, but I've never done them before. So like how the heck am I supposed to go in there and walk in and be like, cool, I know exactly what the heck's going to happen with this workout, because like you really don't. You don't even know how this one machine works. You don't know how to pull the pin out, whatever. So we definitely have a fear of people judging us when we're in the gym and feeling like it's going to be impossible to figure out what we're going to do. We feel like, I felt for a long time that especially when there was a lot of dudes in the gym, that it was just going to be like, I'm going to be in their way. I'm not really going to know what to do. They're going to be annoyed by my presence because I'm just lost and not really sure what's happening. And then that just leads to a feeling of like, I don't belong here. And like having that feeling of no belonging in a place is just automatically intimidating in that space and automatically a turn off to that space. So those are just some things that I personally have experienced, some things I've heard from other people about their experiences in the gym and just feeling uncomfortable in the weight room, because I feel like it can be a really intimidating space. It has the stigma of being a place where people go and they're strong and there's large men and they're grunting and they're lifting heavy things, and especially as a woman, that can feel like an intimidating atmosphere, and to feel like you're possibly the only female presence in that space can be a really strange, intimidating feeling. So I don't think it's just beginners who feel this. Obviously, people who are beginners and have never lifted weights before feel this. I certainly felt this when I was a beginner. But honestly, even as an experienced lifter and somebody who goes to the gym all the time, if I go to a new gym and it feels like there's no other girls in the weight room, I get intimidated in those spaces too. So I think even for experienced lifters, it can be an intimidating space. People who are maybe more experienced exercisers or lifters, but they either go to their own home gym or they do bodyweight workouts, or whatever the thing is, and they're just not really like a gym goer, I feel like the weight room is often an intimidating place for them to go as well. And like I said, like women being in a male-dominated space, a lot of times that's just a really uncomfortable thing. I'm sure that men feel the same way with certain places that are female-dominated. I don't know what that is off the top of my head, but as a woman going into a male-dominated space, that's probably one of the most intimidating parts of it. Is not only do you feel like I don't necessarily belong here, like there's not anybody else here who looks like me, who's going to be doing the same things as me, but also like, does this mean that like everybody's going to be checking me out the whole time, or like what's the feeling of like being the only girl in a male dominated space? So I basically want to talk tonight about how we can develop this confidence to get into the weight room and get into the gym and start doing workouts that, we've told we should be doing. And, if you want to change the shape of your body and add muscle definition and, actually make like a change in the shape of your body, weightlifting is the best way to do that. So it all comes down to creating this confidence and getting to this place of feeling comfortable in a space that is intimidating. And it doesn't mean that the intimidation leaves forever. As I said, sometimes I still feel intimidated in the gym, especially a foreign gym, like a gym that's not my home gym, can be intimidating for me because you just never really know exactly what to expect. You don't know what the personalities of the people are going to be like, all that kind of stuff, just like with most things. But anyways, so some of the things that are related to confidence are really a lot about our mindset and how we view ourselves and how we view how other people are perceiving us. And so one of those is realizing that other people's opinions of us don't matter. And that's just how it is. The only opinion of ourselves that matters is our own. And we're never going to be able to change the way that other people see us and the way that other people perceive us. So we really just have to focus on ourselves and how we view ourselves and the steps that we're taking to make ourselves a better person, whether that means internally or externally, as in going to the gym or, doing some like mindset work or something, is realizing that our opinion is the one that matters. Other people's opinions don't matter. And we will never be able to change or control any way that somebody else feels about us. Even if we, feel like somebody hates us and we try to be the nicest person in the world to them, they can still hate us because that's their life and that's their thing. And they can do whatever they want. The end. Just as you can do whatever you want. Another big thing with gaining that confidence is really finding the courage to take action in a time that feels really scary for you. So for me, being an introvert and going into the weight room originally, it was definitely a big step out of my comfort zone. It felt like a big risk. It felt like something that was really uncomfortable and scary, but the reward on the other side of the risk was the part that made facing that fear worth it. So facing our fears in a time of struggle and in a time of intimidation and proving to yourself that you can survive that scary situation and that struggle is a really important lesson to have, and it's a really important life experience to have. And when it comes to something like the weight room, you can go into the weight room and you can literally do 2 or 3 exercises, not really know what you're doing, be really intimidated, be really scared by the prospect of being in the weight room, but leave and realize, oh, like nobody said anything to me. Nobody bothered me. Honestly, everybody's caring more about themselves and how they look in the mirror than actually what I'm doing. So like maybe I could do that again. And it's those little things that just taking like a little baby step and maybe just doing 1 or 2 exercises will help you build that confidence and face that fear in a smaller way and realize that you can survive that scary situation to be able to build confidence to actually get into the gym and get into the weight room all the time. Another thing is really just to have some practice under your belt, having some practice with basic exercises, with basic concepts, even if that means doing them at your home, or if that means going into one of the aerobics rooms and practicing off to the side before you really get into the weight room. That can be a really great way to introduce yourself to movements that you're unfamiliar with and maybe intimidated to do in front of other people. But then you can, start incorporating them into your regular training because you've had some practice doing them, and maybe it wasn't with weights or maybe it wasn't with heavier weights, but you at least have the movements down and you feel like somebody isn't just going to be judging you because you're doing something incorrectly. something, if you saw my post either today on Facebook or Instagram, I talked about focusing on progress over perfection. And I think in intimidating situations, that's a really important thing as well, because oftentimes one of the things that hold us back is the fear of looking stupid, of looking like a failure, of looking like we don't know what we're doing. And really that comes down to a fear of not being perfect in the situation that we want to automatically be good at. And so we have to kind of take a step back and realize that it's fine to be a beginner. Everybody's a beginner at something at some point, at some time. And you just kind of have to take the baby steps along the way and see the progress of your situation, to be able to realize that the progress is the more important thing than the perfection, because it's through that progress, it's through those baby steps, it's through facing our fears that we learn valuable lessons, and that we really have integrity in ourselves and integrity about the action that we're doing, because then we learn all of the mistakes that we could make, all of the mistakes that maybe we had enough foresight to not make, all the mistakes that we did make and learn from. And all of those things slowly build our confidence, because really having confidence is getting rid of the idea that we have to be perfect all of the time. And because we're never really going to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. There's no ideal standard of what perfection is and what makes a perfect person, because everybody's different. Everybody's life path is different. And giving up perfection in the weight room is a big stepping stone on the way to gaining your confidence in the weight room as well. Being open to learning new things, being open to possibilities, being open to making mistakes and having failures and learning from those are the kinds of things that build confidence. And just remembering that confidence is very similar to the muscles in our bodies. It takes time and it takes progress and it takes practice, but eventually you can build that muscle. You can build the muscle of confidence with practice. It's just like you would never expect to be able to go into the gym and automatically be able to deadlift 315 pounds. And if you're a shy and timid person, you would also never be able to expect to just go up to a stranger and ask them out on a date. It's just, but you can get to that point where you can get more confident in yourself. You can get more confident in your abilities and your skills. And all it takes is a little bit of practice. All it takes is a little bit of facing your fears and realization that it's your progress that matters, it's your opinion of yourself that matters, and it's the baby steps along the way that matter as well. So I hope that was all cohesive and more or less made sense. This is just things that I was thinking about today about feeling intimidated by the gym, because it's definitely something that I've experienced, and it's something that I think that a lot of women in particular experience with the gym atmosphere and the weight room atmosphere. So I hope this helped, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.